All right, so here we are again with these couple of CR125s, 1976, 1974. If you remember from the previous video, this is part two. Part one, we got this one running, and it was actually running really, really well to the point where we actually got it running around the track. And we took it for a ride down the bottom, and then what's happened is the back brake stay here snapped off. This is the little quick repair that we did to get it back home. Just put that on to get it home, but there's your brake stay. And what's happened is the bolts come out of up in here, made the whole brake spin around, tore the brake cable off. So we've got to put that back up. And what we have in here is we have a brand new cable ready to go, and the fitting, which is important, and this is the new nut that I made with a cotter pin, so that when we put it in this time, it can't come undone. So we'll do this next. So what we're going to do today is get onto the 76. So if you remember with this one, it was smoking like crazy. It wouldn't rev. Just couldn't get it to run right. Pull the carby apart again, and carby was fine. So what I believe it is, and this is the telltale. So if you remember, we actually filled the gearbox up with oil, and now there's practically no gearbox oil. So I think what's happening is this seal in here, the crankshaft seal on this side, is sucking all the oil out of the gearbox into the engine, which is why we've got all this oil. You can see all the oil up in here. So it's just pouring oil out everywhere. You can see it down in here. So it's just pouring oil out. So basically it's all just coming out of the gearbox, sucking itself up into the engine, blowing it out through the exhaust. And that's why we had so much smoke. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to pull this engine out, and we're going to replace those seals. And while we've got it apart, we'll check it all. One thing we do know is it actually does have really good compression. So we don't think anything's wrong with piston rings or anything like that. And I mean, we're not going to be racing this thing, so it'll be just a quick tear down, replace the seals, chuck a new couple of bearings in it here and there, and basically get it running. So what we're going to do to get started, come around this side, and we will get the tank off, and we'll get the head off. I'm going to pull as much as I can off before I pull the engine out, because I'm old and it's too heavy. So first thing we'll do is we'll get rid of this fuel line. This absolutely stunning, beautiful tank that we have here. And if you remember, this one actually had that bit of rust in it, but I reckon it cleaned itself up pretty well. So make sure that's on the lowest setting. All right, let's take this beautiful little tank off. First thing we might do is take that spark plug lid off. We might take that carburetor out. Pop that up over here. Let's get that out of the way. Like that. I've got our JIS screwdriver. Japanese industrial standard screwdriver. These rubbers are pretty good actually, so it comes off pretty easy compared to some of them. I think those rubbers, especially that air cleaner rubber's been replaced in the past. Let's pull that tube out, put that tube back on. So here's our nice little carburetor, a little bit of fuel leaking out of there. That's all right, get out, there we go. Just enough to wet the floor and make it smell for us. Righto, so carburetor over there. Get that back up out of the way. Put that up there. Okay, so we might take the head off first. We'll see what we got. Then we'll get into the side cases. So we're actually going to take the side cases off while we're in the bike, and just like I said, make it as light as we can. Now, a little trick rather than trying to pry this off is to actually give it a kick. Sometimes it just like that. And there we are. So that's extremely clean. Have a nice copper gasket, and that looks like a new cylinder. See that? Actually looks like it's still got fresh hone marks in it. So that's really good news. Okay, let's get this exhaust pipe off, and let's get that out of the way. Like that. And there's another spring down the bottom. You've got to remember this one. It's the one everyone forgets. Like that. Let's put that. Oh, she's nicely hanging there. That's good. Now we're going to get this bolt back here, over here. We'll put that in the back there. And look at that, for a fabulous exhaust pipe. It's in incredible condition for 1976, and we know it's not blocked at all, because I thought it might have been blocked. Oh, a bit of damage there, but it flew. The air pressure coming out of this was great, so it's not blocked in any way, and neither is the actual silencer at the end. All right, so exhaust pipe off, springs off. Just get them out of the way. Like that. Okay, so let's take the clutch cable off. We'll get our brake off. Okay, leave that out the way. Watch out for the ball. It holds it together in there. So it'll go back in there. Make sure we put that back in. Let's get that off. Yep. All right, so we have new seals for this as well. Let's get our clutch cable off. So let's get this little rubber back. Like that. Now I'm going to just release the clutch cable up the top here. Hang on, Nelly. Just going to get that lined up. There we are. There we go. Okay, so then our clutch cable can come off. Like that. We are cooking with gas. That's all nice. Okay, so start getting the engine bolt. So we're going to get back to this side. We'll go and take the other side off. We'll take the chain off. On this side here, so the chain link is back here. Oh, come on. It doesn't like to come off. Hang on one sec, I'll get a tool. That'll do. Okay, chains off. Gear selector off. That's the end. Take our hose clamps off. Okay, let's take off this side cover. See the word magnesium written on there? It's pretty cool, eh? Pretty cool for 1976. So we're just leaving all the screws in the right spot. Put that over here. Okay, so what do we have here? We have our little cog. Let's get that off. Original nuts. They're pretty cool. So then that thing turns and it comes off. Sprocket comes off. Let's just put these little things back in here. Here we go. Okay, so now let's take off the magnet and the stator. It can stay there for a moment. Okay, so that should come out. Usually get a bit sticky because of the magnet that they're on. Okay, let's put that down over here. Could actually undo that. Oops, we could actually undo that from in here. Let's see if we can do that. Is that a good looking clip or what? Oh, nice. We could probably put a bit of lanolin in there to fix that up too. Alright, let's take that off. Over here. Okay, so there we are. This thing's got the magnets in it. Put this on a higher setting. Okay, and then let's put a little plywood collar on this. So this is usually a taper. It should be a taper, which means taper in a keyway, which should come off pretty easy. So it's all looking good. Just like that. There we have, there's our magnets. All looks alright. And there's the keyway, and there's the key. So the key's still in it. Yep, let's get that out. Okay, so there's our little woodruff key. Okay, so these two go together. So that's, so I normally just stick them on the magnet. Put that over there. Won't lose that. Okay, so here's our first seal. That is actually not leaking any oil. Right, so that particular seal is pretty good. It is, unfortunately, it's obviously the other side, and we know it's the other side because it was sucking all the gearbox oil out. Let's try a little trick. So if we get a punch, we punch a hole in the side. So sometimes what you can do is actually put a hole in it, not just be able to drill a small hole in it, and then we'll put a screw in it and we'll screw it out. Let's see if this will work. We're changing the bearings anyway. Let's put it in maybe. I don't know if I got it. Let's take a screwdriver and just pop this screw in there. Okay, see the seal coming out? It's come out a fair way. Might be enough to get it out now. We can do one on each side. And if we've got a hole in that side, did we hear? We did. Yeah, there we go, look at that. Here's our seal. Like I said, we're changing that bearing anyway. That seal is now toast. So there's the bearing in there. Okay, that's out. Okay, so this side here, we can't do much more than that because we have to take it out of the frame. So we can take the barrel off, but we can also take off the other side. So let's do that now. They look like they're all identical length, so we'll actually remove them. We'll do this seal too. We've got it apart. There's not much, shouldn't be a lot of gearbox oil in it. We'll try and catch it. Okay, screws in there. Just going to grab a little tray to catch any oil. So, I'm interested. I was interested to see if I use the clutch to actually get it off and separate it. I'll take that out. Might just give it a bit of a tap with a rubber mallet and see if we can get it to come off. There's our oil. What's left of it. It's got something to do with this, I suspect. Maybe we'll pull that screw out there, pull the actual shaft out, and that might actually let it come out. Let's have a look. Not sure if this will come out, but we'll give it a go. It did. It did. Everything looks pretty normal there. It's the screw. Let's leave it there for a moment. No. It's still not helping us. There we go. So it's just a bit of, maybe it was, maybe I think it was stuck in there. See in there, in that slot. So I think we did it. All right. Well, that looks all pretty cool. Looks all pretty cool. Okay, put this over here. Yeah, so our actual seal is down in behind here, so we might pull the whole clutch system out now while we're at it. And so we've got to split the cases anyway. It actually looks like someone's had this apart by the looks of it. Someone's put new screws and stuff in it. Okay, pressure plate. Looks good. Okay, we have a steel. These are all actually stuck together. I wonder if that was actually going to work. And take note that the last one is a fibre. First one should be a fibre. Let's have a look. That clutch is definitely all stuck together. This would have been grabbing for sure. Okay, so the first one's definitely a fibre, and then we go on from steel from there. Okay, so next we're going to try and undo that with a rattle gun. Does it have a bend over tab? Oh, that's interesting. So that part of the washer there should have been bent over onto this nut here. So there's the fix there, but this one has not been bent back over. Okay. Clutch parts, washer. So yes, that should have been bent back over. Someone's forgot. Okay, this should come out now. Nice. Little thrust washer there. That can stay on there. Take the washer off first, but there we go. Put that in there. Okay, so now we're going to pull the shift mechanism. And this is where we want to get to, but the actual seal is on the inside of this. which means we'll take this off, we'll take this plate off, because we actually have to pull this off. Might as well do it while it's nicely mounted there. I'm not sure what we have to take out of here. Maybe we can leave all that together at the moment, unless there's some screws in there that hold the case together. But let's start with these ones here. This is where you want to hope. It's nice when they haven't been wrecked. Doesn't help when you've got greasy hands. It won't come off unless that's off right there. Fair enough. Alright, so we'll rattle this off. Let's see if we can get the right socket for that. We're off. Gears off. Plates off. Okay, so that, then that, then that, and put all that together. Like that. Yep. Alright, so, yep, there's our bearing. And on the inside of the case is the actual seal that we've got to remove. So the next step would be, we'll see if we can pull the barrel off and expose that piston. At the moment she's looking pretty good. 12, yep. Oh, don't you love it? Don't you love it when that happens? Someone might put new studs and everything in this thing. Maybe they just never put the seal in, or the fact that it's been sitting around for 25 years. I have a theory. I was just wondering whether it would work. Maybe some of you guys and the viewers might know. But if I was going to commission an old two-stroke that hadn't been started for 20 plus years, what are your thoughts on if we put two-stroke oil? We just fill the whole crankcase full of two-stroke oil. So like basically down where the fuel and the oil go down into the crank there, and just surround it and fill it right up with two-stroke oil, and we let it sit for a month, because those nitrile seals may just re-swell if they've been dry from fuel and just age, and they might just reseal. I was just wondering if anyone's ever done it before, but that's what I was thinking of trying on some of these other bikes that we might recommission. So if anyone knows, if anyone's tried that or thinks it might work, let us know in the comments. That'd be great. And then, once you're ready to start it, I think what you would do is just suck it out like with a syringe, like an oil syringe. You just put a hose down there and down where your carburetor joins in there, and suck all that oil back out after about a month, and hope like hell that the seals have re-softened and do their job. Because anyone knows anything about two-strokes, it's all about those seals. One out of 4. Didn't come off easy. Must have had a bit of paint on the end or something. There we go. Get that metal out of there too. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so have you got anything joining up? No, should just come off. Wow, look at that. Really nice. Wow, look at that. She's like brand new in there. Somebody has done a rebuild on this engine many, many years ago, and we don't have any carbon behind any of these rings here, so we ain't getting anything past there. I reckon this is not an old engine. Okay, looking very, very good. That's why she had such nice compression. This thing, I reckon, has been rebuilt and just probably had one little run, and that's it. Okay, so now we are going to pull out the engine. Turn that down. Now, these I want to keep together. They are not the same, so the engine one is slightly longer. I might just leave those plates in like that. Okay, so we have one major one through here, and the other one. Okay, she's slipping it nice, so we'll leave that for the moment. Get this one up here. Ooh, something interesting. Oh, okay. It's got enough under there. Oh, it's not. It's got it on the other side. So, here it is. Okay, so that's that one. We'll come out, put that back on it. Engine bolt. Okay, so we're just going to slip that one out. This is our last one down here. And that's fitting, so it's just spinner on it. Well, I've got to say, this thing is coming apart really, really nice. Haven't found too many dramas yet. What have we got here? So that's just a little spacer for our gear shifter. Okay, so we've got that. Bolt's just got to come out. And here we go. Put the nut back on her. So that's our last one. Yeah, so that one's, you'll be able to tell because they'll only go in one way. Okay, this is the last bolt. These are all specific lengths. Hard to buy at a bolt shop. Glad that they're all on here. Okay, this little engine should pop out now. Look at that. Like that. Righto. So, split this crankcase. Okay, so our Kickstarter. Let's have a look at that. Oh yeah, just there. Let's have a look where all our screws are. Okay, so to hold this case together, by the looks of it, they're all here, 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 here. Righto, so they're the ones that we're going to try and we'll try and take it off this way. Let's we'll pull all these screws out and see if we can get this case split. This looks like a strange, it's definitely a case screw, just slightly different. And that's that one, the thing just goes there. Okay, so nothing, we're all out and done. Big question is there anything on this side that holds it together? That'd be a shocker if there was. That holds, it'll be gearbox. See anything? Nothing up in here. Nothing underneath. I just don't want to try and pull on this thing and I've forgotten one. Is that one there? No, it's empty. Okay. Alright, well, let's have a look. can always give it a bit of a test and see what happens. Definitely can't see anything more. So now we've got to try and set these up. So these things here. So our real pressure point is through here. So this is one of these crankcase pullers. So we want to go sort of, the only face we can go on is here, here, and here. So we can probably go there, and there, and there, perhaps. So, oh no, we actually have to get that over that. That's right. So that has to be there, maybe there, and there. Okay, so that one, and that one. Okay, so what we do, we put these down in there. We want to get them as deep as possible. So we've got now I have to screw these screws a long way in. I wonder, I might put some screws underneath first. It'd be nice if they put the seal on the outside. We'd have to split these cases, but it isn't. It's on the inside. Maybe in later bikes they actually went to the outside on both sides. Does anyone know? Write in the comments if you know. I'm not an expert in these motors. It's not my job, but I do it because I enjoy it. Alright, let's get this on and see. Is it nice and level? Yep. Yep. We're going to get the next set of screws on. Nuts, sorry. Okay. So now, I don't think we're all that central there. You can see that nice and central. Yep. Now if we turn on this, and for any reason we feel like we got some resistance, we're going to have to be pulling some bits and pieces off on the other side. 17 mil. We're separating already. So we're separating through here, but not here. Just give that a... That's good. That's positive. That's very positive. I think we're coming off pretty good. A little bit of binding. Looks like we're coming off okay. Keep going. So, give it a bit of tip. I'm not hitting that very hard at all. Okay. Where's that coming from? Yeah. Right there. Chuck a zip ties it. Okay. So are we still going well? Seems to me like we're a little bit tight on something. definitely are. Why are we binding here? What is stopping us? I'm feeling it's that, but maybe I'm wrong. What is stopping us? This is where you wish you had a manual. So is there anything? It should be just like trying to pull itself out. What about that I can see things? So we've either got that there, which is, so that has to come through. That's just popping that out there. It does feel extremely tight though. And it's not splitting the case. So we're actually stuck. So what are we stuck on? What are we stuck on? It's the internet. It's gears. So cannot. So it's really like we're coming out of the bearings fine. What we would do is unloosen that back up. We'll bring it back together. Just whether it's not coming out square, I don't know. That's all it was, so it's just not coming out square. So we'd gone a bit too far on this one. So now we can try and come out a bit squarer. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. I think we're basically apart. So let's put it back on this side. And we are. Okay. First step. Let's put, oops, that's a gear selector. That's a rod that's just come out of there, which is this rod on the other side. Shift rod. The shift rod on the other side, is it? Yes, it is. Right here. That one right there should be back in here. And basically this one got to go into the drum, which will be right in there. Going to be right there. Smallest spot I can go. Right there, like that. I'll put that back through our rod. Right. Now we're going to throw some more zip ties on this just to keep this whole thing together. Get to that one. That one could possibly just come out. It's that washer again, is it? Or another one. We shall have to have a look. So that washer's still on there. Where's this one come out of? You know, that goes back in there. So that's pretty simple. It's our selector. Probably should be wearing wheel gloves. These are so oily. I think I might just take that out. It's not that big a problem. That's pretty. The spring's not going anywhere. It can sit there. So where did this come from? Right there. Going to make an assumption. So either can't go on there. I reckon it's all gone on there. We will have to have a look at that. See all these little bloody things that fall off. Righto, okay, we'll get back to that one. We always get the manual and have a look. Okay, so we want our gearbox to stay in. So now we're going to pull this crank out. We may have to hit that with a bit of a rubber mallet because the seal is in behind here. Okay, so we're going to have to push that out. This here. Okay. Okay. Back on there. And let's have a look at our smoking culprit. Okay. So there's our little crankshaft. And this is our culprit right here. Well, what we know is definitely sucking all the oil in through there. Doesn't look, feels hard though. Anyway, let's pick it out. Just feels hard, that's all. Right. Looks pretty burnt in there, eh? See the colour of it? Okay, alright, well anyway, that is the culprit. So, but what we have is I think what we're going to do is we're going to end it there. So we're going to end it there for today, and I will just get that couple of manual drawings and make sure I know where those washers go back in. I've also got brand new bearings, so we will pop those bearings out, put new bearings in, and we have brand new seals. See, these are the new seals. This is for this side, and this is for the other side. We have crankcase seals and all the gaskets to put it back together. But yeah, I think I might just go and have a bit of a read of that manual on just all these little. Unfortunately, that little washer that came out, I'm not confident where that goes at the moment. So we will have to find it where it goes. This one. The only place it looked like it went was in there, but it doesn't make any sense why. Because that's circlipped on. It doesn't seem to go anywhere else. Don't you hate that when you lose a washer? Okay, all right. Well, anyway, we'll check the manual and we will find it. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, come back and join us in part 3 when we get this thing back together, and then we put it back in the bike and get it running and go for a fang. Cheers.